Hello everybody, it's Melanie from Mel's Inky Fingers, and today I wanted to just create a short little tips and tricks video using watercolor pencils. Now, watercolor pencils for me has been a mainstay of coloring images. I think they're quick and easy, they're a go-to, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite ways to use my watercolor pencils. Now, Stampin' Up! Has two different varieties of, I shouldn't say varieties, but assortments of colors that you can choose from. So if you look in the May 24 to April 2025 catalog, they're on page 118 and 119, and they're shown right here where it says Pencil Me In. I think that this here groups the three main tools that you would use for your watercolor pencils, as well as your water painters here that's shown right above it. Now, it doesn't matter if you choose Assortment 1 or Assortment 2. I think either one has phenomenal colors that you will use every day in your coloring. And these are going to be best used on what we call line art stamp sets, meaning they're outlines and then they require coloring if you want them to have any sort of detail beyond just a simply stamped image. My favorite way to use watercolor pencils is by using with a blender pen. And when you add the blender pen, I think it creates a smooth image as well as increases the vibrant color of your pencil. So let's take a look at some of the different ways that you can use your watercolor pencils. So this is just a simple cup image that's from the More Than Autumn stamp set. This stamp set is absolutely adorable, and it can be found in our September to December 2024 mini catalog. And I just stamped a few of these in Memento Tuxedo black ink on basic white cardstock. And I'm going to show you just a few different ways to color this cup, from simple to a little more detailed. And really, you can't go wrong with any way that you color this. Now, these are my Assortment 1 watercolor pencils. They're the original watercolor pencils that Stampin' Up! Carried. Now we have Assortment 2 with some additional colors, and we've had these for several years as well. And I keep these in an old stamp case. I printed out this label long ago, but look at how nice these fit in here. And then I also always keep a blender pen right in here with it so that whenever I grab this, I can sharpen my pencil and have my blender pen and I'm good to go. So let's start by taking let's do Calypso Coral. I just want a color that will be easy for you to see. And I'm just going to color this in. And I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm using a relatively light hand. So you can color very light or very dark. And even if you did nothing, it looks pretty. You can get a nice smooth finish. You can get pretty color and your image looks very nice. Now, if you want more color, you use a heavier hand and you can color this in and you still get a very nice smooth image. Very easy. And very fast. So you can see the difference. Now you can mix and match and do some light and some dark. So you can add some dimension to your item simply by varying how much pressure you put when you color in your pencil. Or I mean when you color in your image with the pencil. So there you can see that I used a heavier hand on the outside and less pressure as I got towards the center. And you can still create that element of depth, kind of creating this roundness to the cup. Now, if you wanted to pull in a blender pen, I think it makes it a little easier to create some of these elements without thinking too much about it. And this is what I love about it. I feel like I can move my color throughout my image, and I have better control over how much color is placed in certain parts. So let me show you how I would do this. So the way I would do this normally with my blender pen is I would put a little color there and a little color there, and then I'm going to use my blender pen and I'm going to pull the color in like this. And you can kind of pull that color to the center You can always come in and add a little more color if it's not dark enough for you. And now you have that same element of making your cup look like it has dimension. And it's less reliant on you knowing where to put the pressure on your pencil and where not to put the pressure. Now, another thing that's nice about your watercolor pencils is you can use them with the water painters so that they truly look like you've been watercoloring. Now, the results are going to really be dependent on the paper that you're using, because if you really truly want it to look watercolored, you want to make sure that you're working with a paper that can hold water. So we have Fluid 100 watercolor paper. It's really nice to work with. I'll take out a piece of it here and do a little bit of coloring so that you can see how nicely these pencils work. So I have a little scrap here. It's got a little ink on it, but this will work. So you can take your watercolor pencil and you can just color on your paper. And then I'm going to take my, just bring a little water down here. And you can see how you can blend that color really nicely and bring it anywhere you want on your paper. The other nice thing is you can pull the color right off the tip of your pencil and add it to your image so that you can make it darker if you want it darker, or you could just bring your pencil right in and then blend in this color and get color on your project that way as well. So you have the option if you want a true watercolor look. Now to clean this off, it's really easy. I just wipe that on my Stampin' Chamois. But one of my favorite ways to use the watercolor pencils is mixing some color. For example, if I were to color in, say, an animal, and even though this is a cup, I think you'll get the idea here. If I wanted this to be brown, I could then come in with a little bit of black to add some black accents. And then you blend it with your watercolor pencil. I have a piece of scrap paper here to clean the, there we go. I just clean my blender pen by rubbing it on a piece of scrap paper. Even though it stays stained, your color won't come off in your next image. All right, so I have my brown and my black here, and you can see it just blends in that little bit of black. So you can kind of create extra depth and detail in your projects really easily. Now, if I am coloring this in as like a solid image, I would not really color in everything. I would just kind of scribble some color on there. And then I have the ability with my blender pen to take that color wherever I want it to be. So I can blend that. I can blend it totally across my image and make it nice and smooth really easily. And you can see how quick that was without having to color everything in. Now, if I want to bring in some accents, I can come back in with my pencil. For example, if I want to make this look like it's got some dimension, I can come in. Now, this is wet, so you don't need a lot of pressure on your pencil at all. But that's going to create a lot of extra color, and I can keep it here on the edge of my paper and blend it in so that I get that depth and detail that I'm looking for. Now my image has a perception of depth through the center of that. And also, if I wanted to have like the light hitting it, again, I could come in with one of my pencils and add some color and not have any color in a portion of my image. And this will allow me to pull the color where I want it. And have it very light in some parts. So I hope this has helped give a little idea of how easy they are to use and how you can get lots of variety of coloring techniques, even though you're using your watercolor pencil on your images. And one thing I do want to show you, though, before we're done, is I want to show you how fun it is to, how your color can change and become much more vibrant once you add water or a blender pen to them. So I will put some of the colors here so that you can see what they look like when you color them. And then I will show you what it looks like when you add water or a blender pen to them. So this is the blue. Here's some pumpkin pie. So this is just coloring. This is olive. I think that gives you the idea. So let's clean off the tip of the blender pen here. So even though there's some staining on there, your color isn't going to transfer. So this is the blue. Actually, I think I need a little bigger swath here for you to see on camera. All right, so you can see once you add the blender pen, you can see it becomes a little more vibrant. I don't know if you can pick that up, but I'll hold it close to the camera here in a bit. Here's the Melon Mambo. You can see how much more vibrant it gets. Pumpkin pie. And old olive. So now I'll let you look up close so that you can see the difference. So I think you can pick up how adding the blender pen, and this would be the same if you used the water painter, how it just really lifts that color and makes your color look a lot more vibrant. So these are watercolor pencils. So you can use them by themselves, you can use them with blender pens, or you can use them with your water painters. So I hope that helps you. Please have fun and experiment and enjoy creating with them. Thank you.